Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's rock.
Welcome to the Contagion Effect Show with your hosts, Mike Ellick and Eric Mello.
Well, that was a great start.
Oh,
Now we got, hold on. We didn't test all the,
is it off? No, I'm off here. I'm already off.
No,
It came back on.
there we
You I
There
think
we
you
go.
unmuted me. Hi, Michael.
Hi, buddy. This is, so if everybody can see behind us, we are not in the studio tonight. We are actually live on the road at American Veterans First in Riverbank. We will be talking to some great people, some great veterans, and learning more about this organization. But we got off to a little bit of a glitch, huh?
That's us.
The problem was I had our guest from last week was using this laptop, and I moved to a different computer, so all of our podcast stuff was on my computer instead of on this laptop.
But here we are now.
That was the one thing I forgot to do today. So it's all good. It's all good. So, Eric, how was your week, real quick? Because we have a group of people waiting for us.
My week was awesome. I'm still here, and I'm still saluting to the Americans of this great nation. That is why we are here, and we're just going to jump right to it. We're not going to waste no time.
We are.
That's it.
Okay.
Let's just jump to it.
All right. We'll just join both of our guests in. So we are, like, honestly just honored, humbled, and privileged. All the words that you can say that are out there to represent these folks and this organization. So first, to try to describe all of our screens. So first, we have Duke Cooper here with the green shirt there, just waving to you. That is Duke Cooper, the CEO and founder of American Veterans First here in Riverbank. So Duke, thank you for joining us tonight. How are you?
My pleasure. I'm doing well.
Doing what? You can. I want that energy.
Wait a minute. Where was the energy? Like a minute and a half ago.
All of a sudden,
he's jazzed, all pumping us up.
This is not the podcast where you bring the load.
Yeah.
This is
This is
Duke. Yeah. We brought our energy up. I need Duke with energy.
Where is that?
Running
around here.
Oh, you want the Marine?
Yeah, there we go.
Let's get dirty.
Yeah. Well, and we can have the language. I mean, as long as everybody's all right in the room, but we can have the language as well, because we are not for children's show, but our show is about veterans. And guess what? You are about veterans. That's what American Veterans First is all about. So when I had the opportunity to meet you almost a month ago now, I believe, and I did a little video for my real estate videos and my local small business, and we highlighted American Veterans First. So thank you for letting me do that.
Excellent video.
Oh, thank you. So Duke, first let's start with you.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about your service. I know you don't want to go too deep into it, but what branch did you serve in? And
I served in the United States Marine Corps.
Okay.
From 1968 to 1974. Like a lot of those Marines, you get out, you get a job, find a woman, get married, start your family, and get busy with life again.
Right.
So I did that until 2016, and I met a good friend of mine, Rudy Molina, and we found us a building down the street, 20 by 20 room with no heat, no water.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought, damn,
perfect.
I feel right at home.
Exactly. Right? Marine Corps again, right?
Yeah. So it was great. We established our grand opening was in August of 2016. We were incorporated in December of 2016, and then we got our 501c3 in 2017, and we never looked back.
That's awesome.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So the name is American Veterans First, right? So what are some of the things that you guys are doing? I know I was lucky enough to have a tour. I got a Duke Cooper tour.
Yeah, no, I got the Mike
you got the
Ellick
Mike
run through.
Ellick.
We got to go check
You
the
gotta hurry up
sound.
and get back to everything,
And
and then unfortunately, due to the move you guys are making, is they're actually moving from one side of the building to the other side. So everything I was used to seeing isn't necessarily in its same place. But there was a lot going on the times I've been here, right? So what are some of the things that American Veterans First do for the veterans in our community?
Well, our name says it all for me. American Veterans First. Before we take care of anybody else, we have to take care of our own. We are a brotherhood here. We're a 501c3 nonprofit, all volunteer service here.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter from me down to every last person here. We are just strictly volunteer, unpaid. We're really honored to be able to do what we do. We help veterans navigate the VA for their benefits. We have a facility here where they can come in free of alcohol, tobacco, and drugs. And it's free of peer pressure. You can come in here, sit down, get a cup of coffee. We're handling PTSD cases now. We're doing bereavement. We're fighting suicide. Suicide for a while, August 21st of 2021, at the fall of Kabul, Afghanistan, veteran suicide jumped to about 40 a day.
Right.
And it affected all veterans from Vietnam on forward.
Right.
So we fight that on a daily basis. We have veterans that come in, we talk with them, we get their feet grounded back on the ground, and we give them an opportunity that their voice can be heard. We feed a lot of veterans. We have our veterans outreach. We're feeding 60 to 70 meals twice a week in the parks. We give them clothes. We give them socks, underwear, hygiene products, feminine hygiene products. We have roughly 30,000 homeless veterans in the United States, and last year, 12 to 14% were female. So you can imagine if you were on the street as a young female with no home, that would be tough.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
So we show them a little dignity. All their hygiene products are put into a gently used purse. To date, we've handed out about 4,000 coats, about 5,000 blankets.
Wow.
I have no idea how many underwear, socks, cotton gloves, tarps, sleeping bags. We just handed out this last winter about 80 sleeping bags, 0 degree. So, if you're on the street, it's okay to live under a tree somewhere or a bridge,
Mm-hmm.
but it'd be nice to be able to throw a tarp down where you just don't have to lay in the mud.
For sure.
Right.
So the one thing I've learned about our folks without homes is that not all of them are on the street due to their own fault.
Yeah.
And we don't question them. All it is, you need help, we're here to help you. Matter of fact, on the way from picking Alan up, we saw a gentleman on the side of the road, and he looked like he needed help. So we stopped and we gave him a brand new pair of thermal socks.
Oh, wow.
And told him to come by here. We have shirts and underwear and hygiene products. We bag them up and we give them to those. So we do a lot of funerals.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally I'm called on the honor guard, and we do the 21 gun salute.
Right.
We go out to the family's home. We talk to them. We make sure that they get a flag, get it folded, get it to the cemetery so they can do the typical military burial.
Right.
So I do thank Katie J. Cox with Congressman Josh Harder's office and Josh Whitfield with Heath Flora's office, State Assembly. They supply us with a lot of flags.
Okay.
And we're honored to be able to hand those out.
Now, I know in the back we have some electric wheelchairs back there, some motorized wheelchairs as well.
Yes, we have. We volunteered and we loan them out. We used to donate them, but we want to loan them out. That way the veteran can use it as long as he needs it. When you're done, give us a call. We'll pick it back up and we'll loan it out to another veteran. We donated 13 electric wheelchairs in 2021. We're probably at about 9 now. We get them gently used. We refurbish them, whether it's paint, batteries, electronics, new seat, or whatever it may require.
Mm-hmm.
I will be delivering a smaller electric wheelchair to a 99-year-old widow of a World War II combat veteran next week in Los Angeles.
Wow.
Oh wow.
And I'm honored to do that. Her name is Mary Garland. Just happens to be my aunt, my
Oh.
mother's sister. So my uncle Dwight, her husband, served in Okinawa during World War II.
Mhm.
And a few years ago, when I started talking to the family, tell me a little bit about my uncle's career in the Army.
Right.
They told me, said, well, I think he probably exaggerated a little bit. And because we used to joke him as a kid, did you get shot? Yeah, I got shot in the butt diving into a foxhole. So I got his DD 214 from my auntie.
Uh-huh.
I looked up his records. Well, he fought in Okinawa in 1944, in some of the fiercest fighting on the island.
Wow.
And he was a map maker by day, but his DD 214 said that he engaged the enemy and fired his M1 Garand on them at night.
Wow.
So he didn't exaggerate. So I was honored to be able to submit his service record.
Right.
And let them know, you know what? Unc didn't exaggerate about nothing. He just didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
And they said, well, yeah, we tried to engage him and he wouldn't talk to us. Well, you know, it's not that he wouldn't. I try to explain to people that maybe he can't,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you go to war, like Rudy, he'll tell you, or Alan, that's not the movies. That's the real deal.
Mm-hmm.
And most veterans try to forget that, but you can't. You don't unsee those memories. So what we do is we help those veterans any way possible, whether we give them a peer pressure-free environment. If they're here in the morning, there'll be coffee and donuts. There'll be at lunchtime, we'll feed you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whether it be pizza, Chinese food, or whatever. And that's all free to them. So we have a lot of information here for veterans. We'd like them to come in here. We're located at 6436 Oakdale Road in Riverbank.
Right in
Open 10
Riverbank,
to 2.
California.
Yes.
Because we have listeners from Luxembourg. We've had some
All over.
UK. So we've learned we have to think bigger than just our local area.
You got to think outside.
Yes.
Outside the box. So we've got a great group of veterans that come in here. You come in here, especially I have a friend here today. When you
Now
set
I'm
a
excited.
97-year-old veteran down and with another World War II veteran, the stories are absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I bet. Well, and it's interesting because I asked you, I think it was you and I want to say Steve Rogers,
Mhm.
right? Who was here the one day because he's one of the guys that works for American Veterans First.
Right.
As well.
He's our Vietnam veterans director.
Right. And I had the conversation because my dad was in Vietnam, didn't talk much about it, but it was interesting how, and when I spoke to you, it's not something you want to share. But when you look at how you look at all the other, like my dad, you could see him glued to a TV watching World War I, World War II, everything else, but it would not watch anything on Vietnam. So it's always interesting how, and then we've had the honor of talking. I mean, we just had, I told you about gentleman Scotty Hastings, right?
Yeah.
He was in, was he in Enduring Freedom because he was Enduring Freedom was, I'm sorry, he was in Afghanistan. Yeah, he was in Afghanistan. Sorry. And he was shot 10 times by one guy. He turned a corner and just, and he lucked out because, obviously he lived. And now he's becoming a country singer and has some amazing music, but, very open about his story. I mean, he called it, we've had 3 Army infantrymen that were either Afghanistan or Iraq, IED, mortar fire, and then Scotty was shot close range
10 times.
Yeah. And when you talk to them, they tell you the whole story and then they just call it a rough day. Yeah. All 3 of them.
Yeah. I think four shoulder,
3 hip.
Yeah. 3 in the hip, 2 in the leg,
and 1 right on his hand.
And
gun.
the thing, like he said, was he went to return fire, but he had been shot there too. So it disabled his gun. And he said he didn't pull it away from his body because he felt that if the sniper would have seen that he couldn't return fire, it probably would have been that last day for him.
I think that would have made me mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was a little upset,
Yeah.
and his buddies behind him were pretty upset
Well,
too when
they
the guy
were-
took off running.
Yeah, the guy took
They
off
had a
running. They were
three
already
rocket
taking
grenade.
fire. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got him. They got the guy right in the chest with the grenade. So he
Yeah.
got his due.
He got his comeuppance.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
So it's but it is interesting to look at the different, what, depending on what campaign you're involved in, and what stories people are willing to tell.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago we had Melvin Gatewood, who was a VA. He's from the VA. He actually runs
Yeah.
another nonprofit out in Alabama
Mhm.
or Tennessee. Sorry, Tennessee,
Tennessee.
Alabama, all that area. He's in that area. And
Well,
he
you
works for
have
the VA.
no better fighting force than the United States military.
Right.
And the only one that's better in the United States military is the Marine Corps, right, Rudy?
And
So-
we keep hearing Rudy's name. We're going to get Rudy
Yeah.
on in a little bit, but
So all the veterans that come in here, you'll find are very humble. They're not here to brag. They don't boast, right? It's amazing.
I don't think it's something to boast about either. I mean, I would hope most servicemen and women would.
If you sign that line, you sign the line.
Right.
If you're handing out meals or
Well, you know
cleaning
what? You
barracks.
signed on the line. You did your job,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what you did.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So-
then like you say is we're the platform that we have been given with our podcast is reaching out to different people in different military aspects and letting them know that there's programs.
Right.
Because we've had Sheriff Jeff Dirksey on, and he's like, oh, I'm healthy, I'm this, and you're a West Point grad, you've done your time, like there's programs for you, and it's ironic to see like, oh no, I don't want to take something from somebody, but I tell them, I go, once you sign that line, that's already set aside. You know what I'm saying?
That's a common
Yeah.
comment
Is
we
it?
get here.
Yeah,
Is people say, well, I don't want to take something out of another veteran's mouth.
right.
You are not.
Yeah.
That veteran will be taken care of.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, there's standard operating procedures that we must follow. And they tell me, well, I'm okay. There's another veteran that needs it worse than me. Every veteran needs it worse than you.
Yeah.
It's on an individual basis, right? A lot of them hide. They push those memories down. But you know what? You're not taking money. You're not taking food. You're not taking rent for another veteran.
No.
You earned that.
Yep.
You come in here. I've never had one. Well, a couple of them say, I come in to see what I deserve or what I'm entitled to. Okay, here comes the Marine Corps. I tell them, well, I got no idea what you deserve, what you're entitled to.
Right.
What'd you earn?
Right.
Yeah.
And if you earned it, we'll fight like hell for you.
Yeah. I mean, that's, I know when I tell people, I think my dad was almost 120%. Oh, you can't be above 100%. You want to bet?
You want to bet?
Yeah.
Try being in Vietnam during Agent Orange and all that.
Yeah.
That's going to push you right above easily. So,
Well, we're finding out with the VA and the way things are starting to run now, they've kind of changed the rules along the way. So I do meet with the Veteran Service Office and get updated. And a good example today, I had a veteran that, matter of fact, lived across the street that took his own life.
Hmm.
Oh.
So he had never filed a claim against the Veterans Administration, a Marine. And because he didn't, his wife wasn't entitled to any benefits, no death benefits, nothing. All they would do is bury him free. Well, that's just wrong.
that's absolutely wrong.
When you sign that line, you're signing that line saying, I'll give my life if I have to for my country.
Right.
And that Marine motto, or that's in all the branches. Marine Corps is probably the best about really bearing down and the brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because we're not ashamed of the Marine Corps, the Army, and none of those are.
No.
But we're a special breed. And to be a Marine, that's an honor.
Right.
1% of the population is in the military. 1% of that 1% is Marine Corps.
Wow. Wow.
So we're a crazy bunch of folks.
I know. I actually I pulled up a poem. I think I sent it to you.
Yes.
From my dad in Vietnam, and says, "What's a Marine?" And it's. I won't share it on this show. We have a young kid coming on that served in Iraq and Afghanistan, and a couple of Marine who actually lives in Oklahoma, and So I figured it'd be a special treat to read it with him because
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't want to offend anybody in the room, but it's pretty graphic
Yeah.
to say the least. But I think it tells a story of what a Marine was, especially during Vietnam.
Well, the only way you offend a Marine is call him Navy.
Yeah, no, I would hear that.
I'm gonna
with
take
my
these
uncle.
back over. I'm gonna take these back over here, Kay. I
Yeah.
just want to bring this back.
I'm not that offended. No,
I mean-
my grandson's in the Navy. I'm very
Right.
proud of it.
Right.
But it's a common rib. The Marine
Oh, yeah.
Corps is the Department of the Navy.
That's what and everybody that knows a Marine or somebody in the Navy, those jokes come, but there's mad respect at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well, we're proud of that because we're the men's department.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the Duke I wanted to hear.
There we go.
There's the Duke I wanted. He's coming out. The Marine's act coming out.
It's starting to wear off.
It is. We got to get you a little more comfortable. We should have had some warm up time for you. But with that, we do have, as everybody's seen here, quietly sitting there, we have Alan Taylor, right, who is a World War II veteran. And what branch was Alan in? Navy. That's right. Navy. There it is. And you get along so good with him.
Oh,
dude.
I love Alan.
I know you said he's your ride along.
He's my travel buddy.
He's your travel buddy.
We travel all over 3 counties. And I call him, say, hey, you ready for a road trip? And just today, I got a call. We're going to go to Valley Springs next week.
Oh,
Nice.
And we got a call. This lady's brother was killed in Korea.
mm-hmm.
They're getting up in age, and they say, we have his uniforms and all of his medals.
Oh, wow.
Would you like to have them?
Oh, of course.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
So Alan and I will head to Valley Springs next week. He'll be a little disappointed because when we go south, we usually stop at Stuart Anderson's split pea soup. Right, Alan?
Yeah.
So, no, I love Alan. He's a great man. He's an American hero. Served 2.5 years on the USS Phillips, a tin can destroyer,
Wow.
as a 40 millimeter gunner in the Solomon Islands in the Philippines.
Wow.
Okay.
And an amazing man.
Did we mention he's 97?
97.
Yes. Alan, we are absolutely humbled to have you on the program today, because the chances of talking to a World War II veteran right now is they're dwindling.
Yeah.
And we need to recognize the people we have in front of us. And I mean, just to have you here in our presence is absolutely awesome. I know you'll say different, but it's amazing to have you here on our show.
Well,
So
I like it because it hits many more people that would never hear things.
right.
Yeah.
For sure. Now, Duke, there's something going through one of our governmental in Alan's name.
There is there were 16.5 million men and women that served in World War II.
Right.
There's roughly 60,000 that never applied for benefits.
Hmm.
Not one bit.
Mm-hmm.
So we got with Congressman Josh Harder, and I'm proud to say that we have the Alan G. Taylor World War II Veterans Benefit Package.
Wow.
And once it's already passed 2 hurdles in Congress, it's got 1 other hurdle. And if it gets passed, we'll put it on President Biden's desk. And if he can find it and sign it, it'll be into law.
I love you, Duke. I love it.
Sorry.
I love it.
With Alan,
We'll put it, and if it gets signed, we'll put a little sticker on there that says I did that, right?
That's right. So I found out with Alan, talking with him. I've known him since 2016. He's a very humble man. And he said, I didn't really do anything special. I remember having 72 air attacks against our ship in 3 days.
Wow.
That's it.
But he said, one day we're talking, he said, what's weird? I don't ever remember being scared.
Wow.
Wow.
And
Not at all. Is it just the training was so good?
he didn't have time.
I don't think it was training, but I don't know. I just don't remember being.
You just didn't have time
Scared.
to think about it, huh?
I guess not.
Yeah.
Just had to
Wow.
react.
So he told me
72 attacks in 3
3
days.
73.
73.
In 3.
Wow.
And he sits down in his stories. It just humbles me out. I sit back and I listen. But all of his records and all of his belongings were burnt in a house fire shortly after he returned from the war.
Oh no.
So we petitioned the VA for all of his records. His service record book is 111 pages thick.
Wow.
Wow.
Biggest one I've ever seen.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, because mine in the Marine Corps is probably about 4.
Wow. So, Alan, where did you grow up?
Long Beach, California.
Oh, you're from Long Beach? Me
Oh boy.
too. Me too. That's where-
LBC guys right here.
I was born at Long Beach Memorial.
My dad was a horse dealer down there,
A horse
Oh.
dealer.
buying selling horses. It was my job to break and ride.
Oh, wow. I would challenge you to find some horses now in Long Beach. And
Yeah.
it's so built out. Have you been to Long Beach recently?
Yeah.
So my when I was going through all of the stuff with my dad coming back to Long Beach, I found a letter that he wrote to me while he was in the Marines when I
Wow.
was 2. Yeah, it was really, and it was written to me, and it had our address. So I went and looked, and it was our address in Long Beach. And I sent the picture to my mom of what the house looks like now. And you know, it's kind of like in the Bay Area where they tear down all the little houses and then build these big houses. They did the same thing to our house in Long Beach. It was a little 1-story shack, I guess. I don't want to say it was a shack, but it was not the best house. And I sent the picture to my mom. It sold in 2020 for 1.3 million or something like that. Yeah. So
Yeah,
Long Beach
tore
has
it down.
changed, Alan. Long Beach has changed a lot, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome that you grew up in Long Beach.
Well,
So, oh, go ahead.
the house I built when I first got married down there, I had probably $15,000 in it, and I lived in it for a few years. Then we decided to move up here,
Mm-hmm.
and I sold it to my brother for $25,000. And
Wow.
a few years ago, I was down there, and they had a sign out in front of it, $300,000.
Jeez.
Housing's changed, and today it's probably another 500,000. Now it's 500,000 as of
Yeah.
today. So Alan, you grew up in Long Beach. How did you end up in the Navy? What took you to the Navy?
Well, I was going to join the Air Corps,
Okay.
and I went in to join them, and they turned me down.
Oh.
Why, I don't know.
Oh, you don't. So it wasn't like I mean, nowadays we have the ASVABs and all that, right? So, but they just turned you down.
Yeah, so I went over and joined the Navy, because back then I joined just before I turned 18.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, if you got to the age of 18, you couldn't join. They drafted you.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
They put you where they wanted you. But joined before I turned 18, I could pick where I wanted to go.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's wow. Wow. So was it already wartime when you
Oh,
joined?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I didn't get in there till 43.
Okay. And we obviously 1941
41.
really set it off for everybody.
Yeah.
I missed a lot of the real heavy stuff they got. I mean, we
Well,
got
70
I
I
wanted.
don't know about 73
Yeah,
in 3
73
days. You
air
may have
attacks.
caught, you may
I
have
don't
caught a
think you
little
missed
action. Yeah, you might caught a little action.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, 40 millimeter gunner, and had 5-inch guns on each side. 73 air attacks in 3 days. And
Yeah.
You missed the heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed the
I
heavy
think they
stuff.
put it in your ears. They give you a handful of cotton.
That's what I was going to ask. Your ears. I mean, I know you have hearing aids, but sometimes that just, man, your hearing had to take a hit.
Yeah.
Those cotton balls probably didn't help good enough.
He's got some great stories. One, the twin engine Betty bomber coming towards your ship,
Let's see which one. There was
The
two-
one-
there
one-
was 2 of them.
the one you opened up on, and the white sidewall tires.
Oh, that one was taking a run on us, and he was went about 20 feet above the water, coming straight at us.
Oh, wow.
And it just happened that my gun was the only one firing at him, and I fired a half a dozen rounds, and the gun jammed.
Oh,
And everything we was running into up there was all suicide.
Oh, so they're coming right at you.
So anyway, when my gun they jammed. There was nothing we could do. And he just kept coming. Just before he got to us, he dropped his bombs in the water. And he pulled the plane up, and he just barely cleared. He went right over the top of my gun. And as he come over, I seen white sidewall tires, and he had
Wow.
what is
The hash marks on the
hash marks on the side of the cabin.
Oh, for
Wow.
his kills.
And he went on all this, and last I seen him, he was going over the horizon.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Wow.
What would make you remember white sidewall tires?
White
Yeah.
sidewall tires.
Yeah. Wow. So when you're gun jammed, do you have other crew members that are working on your gun with you, or?
On that particular gun, you have about 7 people on there.
Oh,
You have one pointer, and that was my seat, and I controlled the shooting of it. And then you had one on the other side that he controlled the side. Well,
Swing.
number one had the up and down,
Mhm.
also shooting. The other one, they had what is it gonna
Take
be?
your time.
yeah.
You had the side to side and then up and down.
Yeah.
So you had a different person for each.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have 2 second loaders, but see, it's a 2-barrel gun, so you got 2 of each of these people,
Oh, okay.
Oh,
and so you have a first and second loader. The first loader is standing up on the platform there and dropping
hmm
clips of 4 shells, drops them in the gun.
4 shells at a time. They're just clips of 4 shells. Wow.
Yeah.
20 millimeter.
Well, they're
they're
the
like,
shells are about this long.
Right. Right. They're like thermoses, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the
40
old
millimeter.
thermos. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Wow.
Virtually came out unscathed, huh, Alan? After 2.5 years,
oh, yeah.
never got hurt.
Thank goodness.
The
Till they ran
only, the
into
only
a
place
Marine.
I got hurt, they called GQ and I was running from a gun, and I jumped over a torpedo davit there, and I thought there was a wheel on the other side to land on it, and I got on a piece of angle iron and
Oh,
kind of messed up my leg a little bit. But anyway, I went on to the gun and then
The head injury.
it didn't it didn't heal up. So after about 2 weeks, why they sent me over to the hospital ship who was in the harbor there. They took the bandage off and they said the bandage was too tight, it couldn't get any air. And they put a loose bandage on there and used some of the dust that they used to use off. And it healed right up.
Kind of sounds like a Liberty story running into a Marine.
and there it is.
And there it
Back to
is.
the Marines.
Back to the Marines.
Can't have a story without taking it back to the Marines.
the Marine would
Duke's
just
back.
cut it. He would just cut his leg off,
Yeah.
put it back on.
Lay down.
Yeah.
We had
was-
three more suicide planes take a run on us.
Really?
And they was coming right to us, and we was waiting for them to get in range. And it just about then we got range where we could start shooting. 2 of our fighter planes come in. They shot all 3 of them down before they could get to us.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
History.
That's beautiful. That's where the American Air Force and Navy shows its
Wow.
its power. Wow, that is amazing.
We respect all branches.
Absolutely. Well, everybody's needed, right? Everybody has their part.
We won't share that comment.
Each branch is a spoke in the will.
Which comment?
The one that just came up on.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Just leave it there.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
somebody.
Because we are worldwide and we're on YouTube and Facebook and,
Yeah.
and
Somebody's
all this
making
other stuff.
negative
Someone's
comments.
yeah. We have lovers. I call them. We have some lovers out there.
Something I
love to
need
be
to
a-
respond to.
No,
Not at all.
We'll
Not at
respond.
all. Yeah, we
We'll
definitely.
respond. I mean, it's
Yeah.
we love our country, and that's what
That's
we'll
all that
say.
matters. We
Yeah.
love our country.
Regardless of what you think about
Yeah.
us, wherever you are in the world, we love
America's
our
the
country.
greatest country on earth.
Absolutely.
I'm sure we've
Absolutely.
saved some, excuse my language, but I'm sure we've saved some of their asses before. So
Yeah. So
yeah.
yeah. If you have some rights in your countries,
Yeah.
it's probably
probably
because
the
of us.
Americans
Yeah. I mean,
helps
not
you.
to.
But anyways,
Yes.
get
We
back to topic.
digress.
Sorry.
Back to Alan. So we had 3 suicide bombers taken out by American Air Force. That is absolutely amazing. What this person?
You go. You. I got it.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, so Alan, what did you do after the Navy?
Well, I worked for my dad for a while, breaking horses and what I did.
Okay.
Then I got a job as an auto mechanic. Then the guy I went to work for was going on vacation, so he's closed the shop for 10 days. And it was me and one other guy that had been working for him for quite a while.
Right.
So, I mean, we was out of work for that 10 days. And then somebody told me that this boss had told him that he was going to fire the other guy and keep me on. So I just never did go back to work. I went and got a job someplace else.
Oh, because you didn't want to deal with it, huh?
Well, I didn't want to put that guy out of work.
Right. So the mechanic, did you learn from being in the Navy, or did you learn just
No, I
once you
just
went back?
learned it on my own.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you didn't have YouTube back then to learn all that stuff, huh?
No.
Amen,
He
brother.
had Model A's and the V8.
Right. There's actually so a gentleman in our town has I want to say it's a Model A, but he just cleaned up an original Model A that he just rebuilt the motor and everything on it.
Yeah, see his car collection.
Oh, you got a nice car collection, Alan?
Well, my son does.
Okay.
But he's got it at my house. Not all of it, but he's got, he got 5 in there.
Right.
He's got 5 in there now.
It's that 41 Packard military limousine.
Oh,
Yeah.
That
wow.
is
Supposed to
original
be-
and beautiful. Stanley steamers, got some Model A's over there.
Nice.
Yeah, every once in a while he'll let me in the shop.
Like, does Alan have a sprawling resort at home or something?
He's got several acres over at
I
Del
got
Rio.
3.5
Okay.
acres.
Oh, you're over in Del Rio, huh? All right. Wow.
I told him I'd double his money if he wanted to sell it. He'd been there about 60 years.
Oh,
Oh,
you're gonna more
gosh.
than double his money.
Yeah.
No, I'd
Trust
double
me.
his money.
Yeah. Come on, dude. Come on. Oh man. Well, Alan, thank you so much for joining us today. I mean, you're gonna be here still, but I know, Duke, you have some more guests for us to talk to
Yes, I do.
that you want us to hear some great stories. Oh, telephone.
Right there.
He's calling in. No, that's all right. That's all right. We can have some ringing. You should see when we're at the studio, my
We have
house. We have
Rottweilers.
Rottweilers running around barking. So
Yeah.
it's our show sometimes can be all over the place. So do you want to introduce the next gentleman?
Yes, I do.
All right.
He's my very good friend. His name is Rudy Molina.
Okay.
Spent one tour in Vietnam as a Marine. Got out of the Marine Corps, joined the Army, and went back. If you're familiar with the book Born on the 4th of July, Rudy is the Marine that went out with probably 450 Viet Cong that they got ambushed by him when his squad leader was wounded,
Mm-hmm.
went out there and drug him to safety. So
Is that the one where
Awesome.
they're in? I want to say they're in the rice fields,
Mhm.
and he crawls out there. Or no, that's
No.
not.
no,
Am I
he'll
thinking of
tell you
different-
it's better told by Rudy.
Okay.
So
Absolutely. Want to hear it from the source directly.
So, with my pleasure, I'd like to turn it over to Rudy Molina.
All right. So he'll be
Beautiful.
taking your spot. All right, Rudy.
And that's Twitch.
Oh, that was
That's
on
on
Twitch.
Twitch, and
Oh,
I
okay.
can't. I don't have access to that.
All right.
I clicked on it, but I didn't want to edit or remove it, so
Maybe we should just go off of that.
I can do it. I got watch my technology skill.
Just don't remove the rest of the stuff as we get Rudy.
Remove this destination from broadcast.
There we go. You can get nice and close to that mic. Can you hear us good?
Yes,
All right. Get nice and close to that microphone.
he's bleeding.
Oh no.
You sprung a leak out?
We have a war wound while we're in the show here. Our World War II veteran got a war wound. Uh-oh. All right. So Rudy, thank
Yes.
you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. Nice being here.
So we'll start from the beginning. Where'd you grow up, Rudy?
I grew up in Pecos, Texas.
Pecos, Texas. All right. And what made you join the Marines or the military first, and then why the Marines?
Well, out of high school, most of my buddies were
He's gonna get a Band-Aid.
going into the military, and most of them were going into the Marines.
Mm-hmm.
So after high school, I decided to join the Marines as well.
Okay.
So I did. In
So just
19,
all the buddies were joining. So
all the buddies were joining. So I said, well, I'm going too.
now, were you 18 already, or
I
did you
was
join before?
19.
19.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. And Vietnam was already going at that time.
Vietnam was going strong. Yeah.
Okay. So you weren't drafted. You chose to go.
Yes.
Okay. And so where were you stationed first?
I was stationed. Well, I took boot camp here at the MCRD San Diego,
Okay.
and then I went to Camp Pendleton for basic training. And right after basic training, I was shipped to Vietnam
So actually, so you joined in 67. When did you go to basic training?
in 1967.
But what month in
That should have been, let's see, March, April. Should have been around May or June.
Okay.
Of
So
1967.
my dad was in the class in November in San Diego. So
Yeah.
that's why I was out. I was like, wow, if you
My platoon was 173.
okay. Yeah, I don't know what his platoon. I just know he went in November of 67 and
So we were probably around the same time.
right. And he graduated out of basic in February of 68,
Yeah.
I believe, or so.
Yeah,
Beginning of February.
Yeah, I was out of there already.
Right.
68, I was already in Vietnam.
Okay. Man. And
That's a
so
lot.
yeah. Wow. And it's just nice to, talk to a Marine and Vietnam vet that willing to share some of their
Yeah.
stories. So
Well, there was I'm scrolling through some of your Facebook, and there's a post that you had about a year ago, and you actually went back,
I did.
right? You went back because your best friend,
My
Steve,
best friend, Steve Sarosi, was killed over there.
yeah,
And when I came back in 1968, I had the survivor's guilt.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I went to the Army recruiter and I said, I want to join the Army, but on one condition. And he asked me, what condition is that? I said that I want to go back to Vietnam.
Mm.
And
who's
he said-
asking to go
he said,
back at
no
that time?
problem.
Yeah.
He said, no problem. We'll definitely send you
First
back
front
to
row.
Vietnam because I had the experience.
Yeah.
I
Right.
was already there, and
Right.
they needed people with experience like I did.
Yeah.
So what made you go from leaving the Marines and then go back into the Army instead of going back into the Marines?
Well, if I joined the Marines wanted to send me back to Camp Pendleton. I didn't want to go back to Camp
Okay.
Pendleton being a troop leader. I wanted to
Right.
go
Yeah.
back to Vietnam to
Right. You
wanted to be-
go avenge
Yeah.
my friend's death.
Okay.
And when I told the Army recruiter that, he just told me no problem, that they were definitely going to send me.
Yeah. So the Marines
Back.
weren't going to send you. They were like,
Yeah.
hey,
Mhm.
like you've
Wow.
seen what you.
And
Yeah. There's a picture here of him saluting. There's a
you
that's
can show
me
that
there,
on-
and that's
Yeah.
the plaque that I
yeah. There's a
that I
plaque.
put up there in the same exact spot where my friend Steve Sarosi was killed.
Here's the plaque.
And that he was in the Marines with you?
He was in the
Okay.
Marines, and he was trying to take out a machine gun, and he got ripped in half.
Oh wow.
There's-
And there he is
Yeah.
saluting. That's amazing.
Yes, I went back to Vietnam in 2017 to
Mhm.
place that plaque in the same exact spot where he
Mm.
was killed.
Wow, you still remember? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
that's what.
Yeah.
And where was that at? You, Eric, you got to raise
That
your
was
camera there.
about 6 miles from the DMZ,
Okay,
and it's a little village called Mylock.
Mylock.
So the battle that took place with Ron Kovic was the Battle of Mylock
Mhm.
in January 20th, 1968.
Wow.
And Ron Kovic was my squad leader. He came back and wrote the book,
Mhm.
Born on the 4th of July. But the book is inaccurate. So
The book is inaccurate.
it's inaccurate because it brings shame, disgrace, and dishonor to all the members of the squad, because he says that once the battle started, that we all ran back and left him to fight the battle by
So
himself.
he just
which is not
highlighted
true.
himself, right?
And when I was telling my story in 2016, Duke Cooper is the one that inspired me to
Mhm.
write my book. The
Oh,
book is called The 13.
Yep.
The
go ahead. You can
13
put it up to that
Unsung
camera, or if you want me to, I can. So we'll make sure we post this too.
Oh, for sure.
He
The
book,
13
It's on
Unsung
Amazon.
Heroes. Oh, it
Yeah.
is
It's
on
on
Amazon.
It's on Amazon. It's being sold on Amazon.
Okay.
The 13 Unsung Heroes. And there's actually, oh man, I wish
I wish we knew about this. Yeah.
This may be a segment all by this may be the next episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
There's just so much stuff.
that
The stained glass.
the stained glass
amazing.
window that Major Throm,
Yeah,
when he came back from Vietnam, he was my commanding officer.
right.
And Major Throm, um, he paid for that stained glass to be in
Yeah.
the chapel at
At the
Paris Island.
MCRDS, the Paris, right?
Yes.
Island, Paris Island.
And in that stained glass, it's got the 13 Marines
Yep.
that I mentioned here
hmm
on there,
In the hand.
and the hand of God,
God.
holding the 13 Marines with a scroll with two angels going up to heaven.
Wow.
And that's the hand of God taking them up to heaven.
So Eric, can you copy those and
Oh,
send them to me, and
absolutely.
then I'll get
yeah.
it all. We'll
Like I
get
said-
that all posted, Rudy. So who's Adrian?
Adrian, he's the one that wrote my book.
Okay.
I told him the story, and he's the one that actually wrote the book for me. But I'm
Oh,
the
wow.
one that told him the
So
story.
it's your voice, your account of what actually happened.
Yes, and this is a true version of what I actually witnessed on
Right.
January 20th, 1968.
Wow. Wow.
So there's also the virtualwall.org that you can go and look up soldiers.
hmm
And there's Steve Sandor Sorosi.
Steve Sandor, he was my my best
private
friend.
first class, has all of his stuff, and it's just, I mean,
That's him right
Yeah.
there. Yes.
Wow. We weren't expecting this.
no, for sure.
He
That
didn't,
was
didn't tell us about this part of the story. So wow, Rudy, that's amazing. I'm
you go
so
back
it's
to
on
Pecos?
Amazon.
Amazon. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I'm going to buy it right now.
Okay.
Literally.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure we get a couple of those ordered,
Mhm.
so we can, and then we're gonna make sure we share with all of our people that about that story.
I called it, I named it the 13 Unsung Heroes because in my squad leader's book, Born on the 4th of July by Ron Kovic,
hmm
he mentions, he doesn't mention any of the 13 Marines that died coming to help us,
Right.
because we were pinned down out in the open. And
Wow.
13 Marines died trying to
Help
save
you.
us.
Right.
Wow.
And in Ron Kovic's book, he doesn't mention any of the 13 Marines that died coming to help us. And that's why I called it the 13 Unsung Heroes, because they have no voice.
Right.
I gave them the voice through this book.
Wow. That's
Rudy, you're going to have to explain this picture here. Excuse me. It's the 10 men scout team.
Yes, that's Ron Kovic right there. This is Ron Kovic, and I'm right next
Bottom.
to him.
Bottom left right here.
Yeah, that's
Rudy's here.
he's Ron Kovic is standing there, and I'm right next to him.
yeah. If
I'll
we
send
would have,
that to you.
too bad if we would have
Yeah.
known about all
So
this, I could have made
those,
the slides.
that's the 10-man scout
Actually,
team.
yeah, send it to me.
All
and
10
I
of
got
us,
you. You got
email it.
Florida.
Email it.
all 10 of us were pinned down by about 400 NBA troops. They had us like in a U-shape formation, and we were right in the middle. And
Wow. So so Ron was your squad leader,
yeah, Ron Kovic was my squad leader.
and he just told a complete inaccurate account. Wow.
Yeah, but I went to him in 2017 when he was having a book signing event.
Right.
And there's also a YouTube video where he actually admits that, yes, I'm the one that saved him because he was wounded twice.
Wow.
And I patched up both of his wounds. Once I did that, I had to drag him to a small mound in order to keep from getting hit again.
Mm.
While you guys were taking fire.
Well,
and-
we're definitely taking a lot of fire.
right. Wow. I'm trying to get. I'm
Yeah,
trying to get this
I'm
going.
I'm trying to get a
I got
something
that
to
shot
you
because
and-
I do want to share. I want to share this because I think it's definitely
all right, your email.
worthy of. Well,
The realtor one.
I'm already going right now for the other one. So, wow.
There's a
speechless.
YouTube video called Rudy Molina reunites with Ron Kovic. And that's where he says that I'm the one that saved him, even though he doesn't mention it in the book, Born on the 4th of July, but he
Uh-huh.
does mention it in the YouTube video.
Okay, so it's Rudy Molina.
He's got 2,800 views 3 years ago.
Yes.
We need
Yeah.
to. All right, so here is the best shot, the best way I could get that shot. So again, you can see it on your screen there, Rudy.
Mhm.
So you are where
Uh,
in that picture?
Manhattan Beach, California, in March of 2017, I believe. Yeah.
No,
On
do
the
you see the
screen,
photo on your?
Oh, this photo
Yeah.
was taken. It's around December of 1967. That's
Okay.
1 month. 1 month before the Battle of Mylock.
Okay.
On January 20th, 1968. So this picture was taken 1 month before, which was around December.
Okay. And where are you in the picture? Which one are
I'm the
you?
one standing right next to Ron Kovic.
so he's going to be back row.
Uh-huh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 guys on the back row. He's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th guy
From the left.
from the left
Okay. So you have the guy on the end there with
his arm
kind of-
out. He's next.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then which one was Ron?
Ron Kovic is the one that's got his arm like
Okay,
this.
so
on,
that's
on the,
Ron.
on the
And
right
you're
hand
right next
side,
to him.
and I'm right next to him.
Okay, so
standing
yeah.
up.
Okay, so Ron's the one standing up with his arm kind of on his hip,
Yes, that's
and
him.
then
I'm right
Rudy
next to
is
him.
right next to him. Wow. And how crazy is it, Eric? I mean, for us, you lived it.
Yeah.
For us, I mean, it even looks like a movie picture.
Oh,
right?
yeah, for sure. I mean,
just to think and fathom that was what was going on then.
Yeah.
Just absolutely amazing. So, wow, what a detour we took.
Yeah,
tonight.
for sure.
Wow, Rudy. So you ended up leaving, Vietnam with the Marines. Then you went back with the Army.
I did.
And how was that tour?
It was. We had a lot of firefights as
Okay.
well. I was with the 101st Airborne Division,
Oh,
and we had a lot of firefights. I was a squad leader then because I had the experience.
right.
I had already been there, so
So you were always on the ground, huh?
I was always on the ground. Well, I was a grunt.
Right. Well,
So,
wow.
yes, I was
Wow.
always on the ground.
My dad was he actually flew in a Chinook, and
Yes.
he ran the gun on a Chinook.
Mhm.
So I know that's what he did. I don't have more details than that because he didn't share much. And
Well, I'll tell you a little story about the Chinook. A Chinook was going to take our platoon to a battle site
Mhm.
out in the jungle,
Mhm.
and they were loading all the my platoon. So they loaded just about everybody in the Chinook, and right at the last minute, I was one of the last to be loaded. They told me to get off because they didn't have any more room.
Oh, wow.
Just you?
Yes, they said,
Oh.
get off because we don't have any more room for you. And I said, no, I need to be with my platoon.
Right.
And they said, no, you got to get off. We don't have any more room. Wait for the other Chinook to
Wow.
come in. So they took me off, and once that Chinook took off, it was hit with a missile and killed everybody on board.
Wow.
So somebody was watching out for me.
Wow.
Oh.
And
Wow.
that's in my book, and they did a story on that
Wow.
in 1971.
So this
It was
story's in the book?
Thanksgiving Day, 1971. And they they did a story on that. It was the second worst air disaster in the Vietnam War.
Wow.
Wow.
So this story is actually in the book too?
That story is in my book.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. So Chinook crash, 1971. Man, I really wish we had all this info before.
Yeah.
I could have put all this up. Wow. Rudy, thank you so much. I mean, really, and my dad wasn't even there then. He was already gone by the end of 1968, I believe. So, but I know he had a story with one of his Chinooks too, but I think they lost it here in the States. And he was supposed to be on it, and it ended up crashing.
I always say somebody was watching out for me.
Oh, for
because
sure.
If I would have loaded, that Chinook, I would have been dead. I wouldn't be here right now.
So I personally could sit here and talk with you guys all night long and keep everybody hostage all night long to hear all these stories. I do want to ask, because it was a different time than what we see now, right? What was it like coming home especially after that second tour?
I was excited about coming home, but we didn't have a very warm welcome by our people.
Right.
We were called baby killers. People were throwing stuff at us, and it wasn't a warm welcome.
Right. And did
So,
you when you came home, were you immediately out, or did you get stationed somewhere and then?
No, I was stationed somewhere
Okay.
after that,
but
then I got out.
Okay.
Yes.
So you weren't wearing your uniform around a lot?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because it was rough those
It was
times.
rough wearing your uniform out in the public.
Oh, and it's crazy because I just seen a story where some recruiters were wearing their uniforms in some part of the country and they got attacked in a store. Somebody attacked them verbally.
Right.
So it's crazy to know, and even in this day and age, I mean, I'm saddened by what you had to deal with, because we respect and appreciate. We wouldn't be here if it's not for gentlemen like you two, and Duke and all of our other veterans that are here. We wouldn't be here.
And we can sit here and that's what we love about the stories is our dads have passed on and they've taken their stories, and so we set these things up and give you guys the chance to tell your stories, and it helps us realize how important it is to keep it going, to keep the stories alive. And by the way, I just bought your book on Amazon too, so it should be coming on.
I'll be buying it tomorrow.
Yeah,
because tonight I got to go do some editing for the show and make sure it's all ready for tomorrow. So
my picture is here on the back with myself and my wife Beatrice. It's here on the.
Thank you, Beatrice.
Thank you.
Joining us
right here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that is awesome.
Me and my wife, Beatrice.
All right, we need all of our fans. Let's make this a bestseller. This one deserves to be
for sure.
It needs to be seen. So, especially to straighten up a story that may have been
swayed away,
taken the wrong directions. So, wow. All right, man. Were you gonna join us or?
I don't know.
Yeah. We have more guests possibly, but
he's got a story too.
Yeah.
That's
that's
all right. We actually had a gentleman, a Vietnam vet, that joined our show we were actually at Contentment Brewing
Yeah.
here in Modesto, and because the owner of Contentment Brewing is a veteran, so we did our show. It was National Beer Day too, so we did the show live from there, and we had a Vietnam veteran join us, and he actually had an amazing story. He was not a combat veteran either. He actually
He was in a
played in a
band.
band.
Yeah.
And then he got his orders that he was gonna be deployed to Vietnam. And his bandmate comes up and says, "Whoa, wait a minute. Are you trying to break up the band?" He's like, "I don't have a choice. Like, I'm getting deployed. I can't." Well, apparently his band member had a connection with somebody who made the orders.
Oh, he's got a similar story.
So he actually never got deployed.
That's
Yeah.
him.
Oh yeah?
He's got a good story on that.
Oh, well, we gotta hear.
Yeah.
Come
let's
on,
hear it.
don't be shy. If you want to switch. Thank you so much, Rudy.
Thank you, Rudy.
We appreciate
your
time.
service. Absolutely.
And we're gonna definitely
Thank you.
we'll put a link to your book and all our
Yeah.
on all of our Facebook and I'll put a link to your book on our YouTube in our notes on our YouTube. Don't worry, we won't hold. Can you hear us good?
I can hear you good.
All right, yeah, just get the mic close and then make sure you scoot up to the camera a little bit.
Okay.
There you go. And what was your name again?
Jimmy Lozzano.
Jimmy Lozzano.
Yes.
And so you were a Marine as
Yes.
well, Semper Fi. My dad, I actually have a Marine Corps. I don't know if any of you seen. I actually on my back calf I have a Marine Corps. I have the globe, the eagle, and the anchor.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, did you? All right.
Yeah.
So I mean, Marines was beat into me, even though like physically I couldn't join.
Yeah.
It was beat into me. Like, is all I knew was to be a Marine. So, all right. So let's hear. So where'd you grow up?
Okay. I grew up in San Jose, California,
All right.
and I joined the Marine Corps after I graduated out of high school.
Uh-huh.
I graduated in 1960, and I bummed around, for about a year, till about 6-7 months. Then a bunch of us guys, like 4 of us, said, "Hey, we'll go join the Army," and so as they had like a buddy program.
Mm-hmm.
So if you went in with your buddies, you could stay with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we went, and we all went to Oakland,
Mm-hmm.
and at the center, they did the physical and stuff.
Okay.
Well, out of the 4 of us, I was the only one that passed the physical.
So much for the buddy program.
Yeah.
The
So-
buddy program went right out the window at that point.
And one thing is, once you pass the physical, they call it you're in.
Right.
There's no
Done.
You're
No
done.
signature. No nothing.
No backing away. So I went in the Marine Corps, and I served from 1961 to 1965. The same thing. I was camp at MCRD San Diego. I
Mhm.
did my training at Camp Pendleton at the Advanced Combat Infantry Training, and so we did our training there. And then when we got deployed to go overseas, and so we were on the parade field and all this, and they're telling us what we're going to get deployed and all that. And at the time we had, I think the commanding general at Camp Pendleton was a general called General Krulak. Now, I know a lot of Marines out there know about Krulak. Now, this is a general that was like 5 feet something, he wasn't very tall.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, we're done. And he says, "Well, when you get over there, I want you to," I really shouldn't say anything, but
No, you're good.
yeah, he says, "I want you to do, kill a few of them for us." And I looked at my buddy and I go, "Where are we going?" And anyway, so we boarded ship. We're on our way to Okinawa, and halfway there, the Bay of Pigs, the Vietnam crisis came on. I mean, the Cuban crisis came on.
Right.
So we pulled into Pearl Harbor, took all the civilians off the ship, we went on to Okinawa, and we thought we were going to go back, to Cuba, but we didn't. So, but like I didn't do, I was in a weapons platoon. I was a 30 caliber machine guns and all that, and a 3.5 rocket launcher. That was my main weapon. And so we went to Okinawa, and we were deployed to different areas. I went to the Philippines for combat infantry training, jungle training, all that. And then we were on our way back. Then we went to Korea. We went to Japan for cold weather training at Mount Fuji. But then when we went back to Okinawa, we were supposed to go train with Australian Marines. But halfway there, they turned us around. We came back, and we didn't know what was going on. And the next thing we know is we got cold weather gear and all that, and so we got deployed to Korea in 1963. So we made an amphibious landing in Korea in 1963, and it was February, and we went down the nets. Like they show in the World War II movie, where you go down the nets
of the ship.
Yeah, on the ship. Yeah. So we couldn't wear our gloves because the nets were ice. So we went down without them. So
did you slide more down them than stepping down them?
Yeah, but then they had these little swells, the 5-foot swells and stuff. So the boats going up and down. Guys are getting sick, So anyway, there was a whole bunch of stuff going on. So anyway, we landed in Korea, and come to find out that at the time there was I guess it was a firefight at the DMZ, and earlier in the year. And so we landed 50 miles south of the DMZ, and we were supposed to, we thought we were just going to be, doing an exercise with the Korean Army. But when we're on ship, the chaplain comes along and starts asking anybody if anybody wants a New Testament or a rosary. And we go, well, wait a minute, what's going on? So the next thing we know, they're handing us, at the time they had a Geneva Convention card that said you're an American soldier and all that stuff. So then we had tested our weapons on board ship. So we had live ammo. So we were there for, I think, about a week. The operation was called Operation Dark Moon. And basically, I did a thing on the University of Texas, and I brought up Operation Dark Moon. And it was 1-3. According to the book, that was basically the first major operation in the Vietnam era for the 1-3.
Wow, that's awesome.
Oh wow.
So we went. Was there. I came back. We came back. I think it was like 13 months later. We came back, and at the time I went stationed in Okinawa. We went to the Philippines, Guam. We were in Japan. And when we were in Korea, it would be daylight. It would be 15 degrees. And at night, it would drop down to 10 below zero.
Oh, wow.
And all we had was a little,
So you were right in between both wars, right?
Yeah, we were in between. And when we were in Okinawa, that's when the Vietnam things started getting hot in Vietnam. When we were in Okinawa, I think it was either 64 or 63 was when the president of Vietnam got assassinated and the military took over.
Right.
And we thought we were going to go too. And we thought we were going to get deployed, but we didn't get deployed. So
Wow. Well,
That was it.
you lucked out.
Yeah, I lucked out, and I lucked out. Come back.
But we still appreciate your service. I mean, you
Yeah.
served your country.
sure.
You did you had to go through some hard times. I mean, it's crazy to hear, we have Alan who is in Okinawa or near Okinawa during a wartime as far as going against Japan. And
Yeah.
then it's interesting. My dad was actually, he had to go to Okinawa. He was stationed at Okinawa at a point as well. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
interesting how in those 25 years, 20 years or so, how it changed and how where our servicemen and women were stationed. So
Yeah.
well, we thank you for your time. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we've learned some great things here today.
Yeah,
More
more than we thought.
way more
there's-
than
I mean, we could have a 3-hour podcast, but no one's going to listen after an hour and
No.
a half. We figured.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to keep it to where everybody
Yeah.
stays interested. So Duke, we might have to come back again.
Oh no, definitely.
Yeah.
Plethora of information.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Hey, are you gonna
I
make
mean-
fun of me too because I took 2 cookies? He gave me the 2. He said you don't offer a fat guy a tin of cookies, not take 1 cookie.
Razors are $1 a piece.
I'll pay $5 each then.
So they're 2 for $50 or $1 a piece.
Okay. Yeah.
Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Hey, you're
Hey,
lucky.
put it on the Air Force tab, okay?
I was. They can afford it, right? Is it something like that? I don't know.
You guys are welcome anytime.
No,
Uh,
absolutely. This
we
is crazy.
appreciate
Yeah, it's just a scratch of the thumbnail. This place. I mean,
Right.
having just
Well,
generations.
we wanted to do a little something
Yeah.
else, but it got
So-
too good. And
Yeah.
I want to wait till when I think when you're reset up, Duke, then
Yeah.
we'll want to
definitely. We'll
come do a walk
we'll
through
bring we'll bring some people.
Well,
We'll bring
thing
some
to
people and
remember
have
here, you come to American Veterans First. This is a history lesson.
Definitely.
yeah, and that's what I was.
Definitely
I
history
wanted him
lesson.
to see
Yeah.
what was going on
Yeah.
over there. So
Do you want to play the song?
we can.
Do you want to play?
I can't put it out.
It won't go. Okay.
No,
so
it won't go out to everybody.
But
So
you have
Okay.
to hang out with.
oh, I know.
Yeah. Oh no, this is
Well,
legit.
so we have I told you and maybe Duke, you want to put on the headset so you can
Go on.
hear this. And then if anybody maybe Rudy or anybody else, we have one more headset there. So this we told you about Scotty Hastings. Let me go pull this up because it's probably gonna get loud, but we actually asked Scotty for permission to play the song. So this song is called Stories That They Tell, and he actually there was the Guitars for Veterans, right? An
Mhm.
organization that
He was
provides
on the-
guitars. He was just on their show, and
Guitars for
got-
Veterans.
and got to play this song. So I'm gonna play it for everybody, and I wish we could play it out loud for the whole group, but everybody have to get on YouTube and go listen to it.
Friday night down at the Legion Bar, Bill opened up a box of old cigars. Said on this day back in '69, I lost a best friend of mine. Kinda said that's the place I've been, but it was 2010 Afghanistan. He raised his glass, said here's to friends and their ultimate sacrifice. Yeah, the times and places, they may change, but one thing stays the same. The stories that they tell about going through hell. If you think they wouldn't do it all over again, well, you just don't know them. The memories that they own of the ones who didn't make it home. Yeah, they sure do miss them, but they keep them all living in the stories that they tell. Bartender says next round's on me. I spent some time overseas. Tonight's my first night behind this bar. Bill handed him a cigar. Well, the faces and the pictures, they may change, but one thing stays the same. that they tell about going through hell. If you think they wouldn't do it all over again, you just don't know them. The memories that they are the ones who didn't make it home. Yeah, they sure do miss them, but they keep them on living in the stories that they tell. We sure do miss them, but we keep them on living in the stories that we tell.
Scotty Hastings.
Scotty
That's on-
Hastings.
That's on iTunes. You can check that out on iTunes.
Go
YouTube.
check him out.
Yeah,
You're in
legit
Tennessee.
guy.
He
Tennessee.
plays. So Scotty was, he was in Afghanistan, and thank you, Rudy. He, as we told, he had a rough day,
Yeah.
and so that song is about all veterans and the stories, just what we got to
Well,
hear
it,
today.
sa- it mentions one of his best friends that actually got killed over there, Connor. So that was
Right.
one of his buddies, and
Right.
from his perspective on that song.
Well, if I could, I'd like to remember Steve Sorosi tonight.
Yeah, I think Rudy.
Yeah. You were out running around showing your new digs off. We,
The Marine Corps.
yeah, well, I'm just saying, yeah, and you can mention his name 100 times.
All right. Well, we appreciate everybody, the whole
Yeah,
crowd.
thank you guys for
here.
coming out.
I mean, it's so amazing, and again, humbling to be around all of you. And
Yeah.
I look forward to coming back some more. And we have some stuff in the works to where Tamara, who we're gonna play, you met Tamara when we came and did the video. We're gonna work with her to possibly make some T-shirts and donate funds back to American Veterans First. So that'll be coming in the future. Just unfortunately, she decided to sell a house and buy a house, so we got to wait for her to get through that process. So because she's already super busy. So with that, real quick, we do have to play a commercial because she's one of our sponsors.
Our only
So-
sponsor.
Well, I say one of ours.
Yeah, one of our
We're
sponsors.
looking up. Like someday we'll get another
Yeah,
sponsor.
we'll get another one someday.
We're getting there. So we're gonna play her video real quick, and then we'll wrap up. Now for our sponsor, Tamara Polito with the Finance Group, where they're creating a future where everyone has access to the loan and home they love. Whether you're a veteran, law enforcement, a first-time home buyer, you're up or downsizing, or even if you need to just refinance, our community deserves proficiency and expertise. Better rates, faster close, welcome home. Tamara Polito, NMLS 1655776. Again, that's Tamara Polito, and her phone number is 209-204-3795. All right.
Sorry, I forget that we have to be quiet.
Yeah, it's all
Sorry.
good. It's all it doesn't record onto the video portion,
Yeah.
but it does record onto the actual podcast.
Yeah.
Because I can't stop. If I mute the mic there, then I
Right,
mute
right.
all of us, and then it mutes this. Technology, it's beautiful. All right. So Duke, again, thank you so much for tonight.
It's an
Everybody,
honor for us
thank
to have
you.
you here.
We appreciate the time and the ability to do this here. Yeah, it was Alan. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time. Rudy, Beatrice, I forgot.
Karen.
Thank you. What was it?
Karen Knock.
Karen and Joe, right?
Joe.
Karen, that was Joe was like, sorry, Karen. And then Duke and
Jimmy.
Lozzano. The last name's totally ringing. And what's your name again?
Jose.
Jose.
The one that was talking during the break.
Yeah, the one that was talking during. Thank you.
Yeah, I
Thank
get
you,
lost.
Duke.
I get lost in the stories.
Thank you.
I'm
Duke,
just
for
glad
sharing
Mike's
that.
a good interviewer.
Oh, I'm. Well, I was lost in. I mean, I was
know.
getting.
We're
I
getting
was
deep.
scrambling for. Man, I wish Duke told me about this. I would have had so many more things
Yeah.
ready because
There may be another episode.
that story is huge in itself.
Yeah.
Not to take away from everybody else's, but
Yeah. Well, it's just like the song says, everyone has a story. You
man,
just
the
want
air
to share
kicked
it.
in, Duke. I feel that air. It kicked on
Yes, sir.
really nicely. All right, Eric.
Got some nice digs here, sir. Appreciate you guys. It's our privilege to come out here and give us a platform to show what you got.
Absolutely.
Mike,
Eric,
deuces, buddy.
bye, buddy.